others would be very interesting.
But here comes the reigning world champion. Javier Fernandez from Spain, sitting first after the short program. Does have some marks to beat there with Boyang Jin, though. Very impressive free.
He doesn't do the quad lutz that Boyang started his program with, but he does have a beautiful sow and a beautiful toe. And what makes his quad so special is he doesn't alter the program. The program stays alive right to the last second, and they're like just a wisp of a takeoff. They're so smooth.
And you know, last week at Skate Canada, Patrick Chan walked away with the competition with one quad and one triple axel. And it was all the rest of the things he did that made the difference. So it's not necessarily just about the jumps.
But boy, do they help. Here comes his quad. And that is how a man does a quad. Smooth at both ends, tight rotation. For me, the sow cow is a really difficult jump because of the edge, and you want the height, you want the power, but you can't fight inertia. That edge has to be pure, and his is. Not quite the landing he was looking for, but as we've just learned, the system will give him many points for rotating, landing backwards.
Nice deep knee bend to hang on to that triple axel.
Now, how closely do other competitors watch? Is Patrick Chan watching? Is Yuzuru Hanyu watching? Do they watch each other to see how they do on the Grand Prix circuit?
Oh, I think you always know who your main rivals are, and you pay very close attention because, as Kurt said before, it's a numbers game, and you can figure out what you need to do in some respects to gain an extra point here and an extra point
change
there.
your priorities.
To change things around a little bit. You know, maybe you're taking, like I said, Patrick won last week, one quad, one triple axel. So what did he do that made such a difference, you know, to get the massive score that he got? So I think they pay very close attention.
But there is room for doubt. At times you have
Even in the competition, depending on where you skate, you may decide to take more or less risk depending on what other people have done. You've always got that option. It's not necessarily recommended, but it's there.
Changing your planned program
Yeah.
is usually a risk. Speaking of risks, later in the program, quad sow, but his upper body just didn't quite get the message. We're done rotating, time to check out, and that's too bad. That was a beautiful jump, that it just didn't quite get the exit sign on. Triple sow from no speed. It's a talent I've never learned.
Not in love with that section of the program choreographically with the speaking and the not much music. Felt a little disconnected to me. And I love Javier skating. I usually love everything he does, but that didn't quite do it for me.
Gel. You like this part?
Tried to.
Now when you're traveling across the ice, you need to reach back far so that when you put your toe pick in, your body catches up to it and everything goes up at the same time, and he just didn't reach back on that takeoff.
I always think the mark of, you know, a really fabulous skater is the ease with which they change directions so quickly without it even being visible. And Javier's got that in spades. You don't even see it coming.
Well, he's the reigning national champ, reigning European champ, and reigning world champ, Javier Fernandez from Spain, leading after the short. When we return, we'll have his marks to see if he can beat out Boyang Jin for gold here at the Cup of China. Welcome back to Road to the Olympic Games, presented by Petro-Canada. We are in Beijing, China. Javier Fernandez has just skated. He was leading after the short program. He will need a mark of 168.05 to stay in the lead. And guys, this is the first time we're seeing him this season. Your thoughts on his program?
Fit. He's strong. And the story about town with Javier is it usually takes him half a season to really get there. He is there already, so maybe being a newly minted world champion has actually inspired him.
Yeah. He did a flamenco program for his short program yesterday, and I really enjoyed that. I think perhaps there's just a little bit more work to do on this program to get that authentic Sinatra looseness. You know, there's a certain style that you need, and it was a little bit thought about for me today.
It's not in the choreography, it's just in the... But also, the gentleman's trying to do a couple axles and 3 quads. There's a lot going on out there.
Well, I said he needed 168.05, and he gets more than that, so he will, in fact, stay in the lead.
Easily.
But last week, Patrick Chan scored 1